What's up everybody, it is I, Magician Adia. Once again it's time for another monthly review. This is of course the monthly vlog that I try to release every month, but I'm now late. As per usual, so whatever. Anyway, so I usually split this video into three parts. I first talk about what's been happening in my life, what's been happening in the channel, and what's been happening in gaming. But for the month of May 2014, what the hell did I say? For the month of May 2014, we are going to do something a little bit different. We are going to talk about what's been happening in my life at the end, because it's going to get very political and circle jerky. So let's just quickly go through what's been happening in the channel, which is two animations. First one is a stop motion animation, which is a stop frame animation. It's a human body stop frame animation. Go check it out. Second one is a stop motion animation. What am I talking about? Second one is a flash animation, which I'm actually going to be extending very soon and uploading. Which I'm actually extending it right now, so I'm going to be working on that. That's actually all part of uni work, so enjoy. I'm also going to be recording some more gameplay very soon, because university is about to finish up for this semester, so that will give me some time to actually record something like Battlefield 3, which we're going to go into gaming now, which was free for Origin, for PC, so it was free for a while. I've got it, so now I can play it, and I will be playing it very soon. At the same time, something else happened. That's right, I nearly died of thirst. So, what else happened? Borderlands 2 came out for Vita. It's very nice. I quite like it. Some people are not particularly interested or enjoying it, actually, I should say. Some people don't like it because there's like there's some lag. The frame rate is around about 20 frames per second, and sometimes it will crash, but for me it's only crashed twice. So I don't really see much of a problem with the game. I quite like it, and hopefully there are more big games like this that come out very soon. Probably not as big, hopefully, because yeah, and hopefully the Vita just gets more love. That's really what it needs. It just needs more love. And also, just in other news, Warframe had new weapons, new modes. The interception mode was introduced to a lot more planets now, so you can now play interception with against Corpus, which is good. At the same time, there are new weapons. I can't think of any in particular. For me, anyway, I just finally fixed an Emperor Prime frame, so I could actually use her now, and she's quite nice. She's quite nice. She plays well. So yeah. Let's just get that out of the way, because I want to rant about the federal government. If you voted for the Australian Liberal Party and you still reckon that they are a good idea, you probably don't want to watch the rest of this video. If you don't like politics, you probably don't want to watch the rest of this video. If you are uncomfortable with a small Asian guy yelling and screaming about something that really doesn't concern you, you probably don't want to watch the rest of this video. Oh, you're still here. Good. Because the federal government is fucking up on a level that is completely insane. They released a budget that basically said, hey, you're a student? Well, fuck you. Hey, you're a doctor, you're a nurse, you're a sick person, fuck you. Because in terms of health, they're talking about something called a $7 co-payment, which doesn't sound like much, but when you put it all together, that really screws up quite a lot of people, especially those who have like huge diseases that need to go to like a hospital or a doctor multiple times. It used to be that like if you had a Medicare card, you could go to a doctor. The idea of the $7 co-payment is if you have a credit card, you can go to a doctor. Basically, you can't go to a doctor unless you have the proper fat stacks, and that's just going to completely screw up a lot of people. In terms of education, that's why I say if you're a student, in terms of education, what he wants to do, what Tony Abbott and his treasurer Joe Hockey want to do is they want to raise the hex loan interest from 2% to 6 or 8%, which is huge in terms of interest, because if you put that into context, that's actually more than the interest of a home loan here. So, what is HEX debt? HEX debt is Higher Education Contribution Scheme debt. It's a loan. Wow. Okay. Hang on. All right. As of right now, anyway, the way it works is if you want to go to university, the government will pay for your education, for most of your education, maybe all of your education, depending on what's happening. For me, anyway, I pay off the student amenities, and the way it works is this debt will be paid off to the government by you if you reach a certain wage level, in which then a portion of that wage will be taken out to pay off your loan. The thing is, this debt has only a 2% per annum per year interest, which is manageable. But if it goes up to 6 to 8% per year, that's huge. That's really huge. I think for one semester as a doctor, uni fees hit something like 5,000. Could be wrong. Actually, you know what? I have the internet, so we'll check it out. So basically, uni fees could hit about 5,000 if you're a doctor, or if you're like me. And actually, here we go. Okay, okay. Anyway, this is really too. Okay, so if you're in UNSW anyway, which is my uni, if you're in UNSW and you're doing law, for example, every sort of every year you pay about $10,000. If the interest of that is 8% or 6 to 8% per annum, that's another 600 every year on top of the rest of your loan. Eventually your loan will just start growing by like several thousand a year, which is huge. It's huge. It's pretty big. The wage, if you're only getting 30,000 a year, which is the minimum you have to make before you start paying off the HEX debt as it is by law, that's huge. A lot of it you just end up paying on is interest, and you still haven't paid off the rest of the loan. So good freaking luck. At the same time, like, what Tony Abbott wants to do is he wants to also deregulate the amount of money that unis can charge their students, which is pretty big. That's basically what they do in America. I think that's what I heard anyway. They do that in America, where unis get to charge whatever the hell they want. So a lot of people have to sort of save up a huge sum of money, several $100,000 from time to time. If you're going to an Ivy League, good luck. If you're going to a college, good luck, but you still end up paying heaps. A lot of students take out a loan. A lot of students take out a loan to go to their college or to go to their uni, and then they end up being bankrupt at the end because just paying off the loan is just absolutely overwhelming. This is what Tony Abbott wants us to do, because he wants to bring in the American education system, where if you have the money, you can go to university. But if you have the smarts, but you don't have the money, just fuck you. That's basically what it is. Right now, we can get to university on merit. We can get to university by taking the high school certificate, and if you do well enough in the HSC, you can go to uni. If Tony Abbott's budget gets his way, and in that part of the budget, then even if you get a huge ATAR, which is what we use, a rank out of 100%-ish. So like a rank out of 100. Even if you get like a huge rank, but your family is poor, or if you are poor in general, you're probably not going to have such a good time, and it'll be very deterring. It'll be very deterring for a student from a poor family background, from a poorer background, or a sort of not as advantaged background, you know, to go to university. Even my family, where we have a reasonably okay house, and we're not rich. We're not rich. We're not exactly poor either, but like we're okay. Even even I'd be screwed if this was actually in effect right now. Even my parents would look at me and say, Rad, do you really want to go to uni? It's going to cost heaps. So that's the kind of problem that this kind of legislation this kind of budget would make. Anyway, that's enough about finance and education, because I don't do finance and education. That's all I've heard. And it's very biased. And you may have another opinion on it. You may think it's a good idea, and I would say screw you. Because it's not. It's not. What's also not a good idea is the continued pandering of the Liberal Party to give us fibre to a box, which is still not a very good idea. Even now, I don't even know what they've done. The NBN, the National Broadband Network, when the Labour Party introduced the National Broadband Network, I was like, yes, this is going to be good. And then the Liberal Party came into power, and they're like, okay, this is what we're going to do with the National Broadband Network. We're going to take the National Broadband Network that was originally going to go all over the country. We're going to bring it to your home, but stop sort of halfway there. From there, we're going to put it into a box. This box is going to be called a node, and in this node, we will connect the fiber optic cable back to your copper wire. What dickhead thought that was a good idea? Seriously, because basically what that means is the speeds that we thought we were going to get at like 50 megabytes a second, pure fiber optic cable, which probably isn't. It's like in America, the Americans, I think, have pure fiber optic cable at 25 megabytes a second. So we might be getting 25 megabytes a second. That's fiber to the premise. That's fiber to the people. FTTP, that's what it's called anyway. So with that, we'd be getting like huge speeds. But with fiber to the box, your speeds diminish significantly if the box is far away from your home. And that's not and we don't mean like far away like as the crow flies. We mean far away depending on how the copper wire goes. If it's zigzagging around, you're completely screwed. Even if you live just down the road from the box, if the copper wire is going everywhere, you're screwed. Even if the box is like here, there's a house, there's a road, and then there's your house. If the copper wire has to go around in a loop because the road goes around in a loop, you're screwed. Your speeds are going to be absolutely terrible. I've read that at 100 meters, fiber to a box would deliver you about 100 megabits a second. Megabits. You have to divide that by 8. I think that equates to around about 12.5 megabytes a second. At 500 meters, which is half a kilometer, it drops to 50 megabits a second, which is single digits in megabytes. And if you happen to be a kilometer away from your box, you're getting 25 megabits a second, which is faster than what we have now, but it is still terribly slow. Terribly slow. Whereas fiber to the people, like, it gives you heaps. It's like you get huge sort of speeds. Yeah, so like, come on, what are we doing? In fact, let's just have a look at what it gets. That actually doesn't help. If we just look around for it, where is America? Because that's really the only place that we can really... here we go. Fiber to the premises. Either way, you can probably get like 1 gigabit a second, supposedly, if you're Verizon. 1 gigabit a second as opposed to our 100 megabits a second. That's what fiber to the node does. Fiber to the node is terrible. Fiber to the premise is great. The reasoning that the Liberal government has given us, the coalition government has given us by their communication minister Malcolm Turnbull, is fiber to a box. I'm not calling it what it's called. Fiber to a box it's faster to install and it will cost less. At the moment their scheme will cost about 20% less. But as I have just said, it will give us no more than 20% the speed. So it's incredibly inefficient. And it's meaningless as a result. And our government, and Tony Abbott has always come out to say, like, we are doing a lot of these things, like scrapping the carbon tax, sorting out all of that. We are doing a lot of those things because we want to make Australia competitive. And yet he is giving us fiber to a box and increasing the cost of education. So screw you, Tony Abbott, you're an idiot. Also, and this happened last month, but one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen a government do. The Liberal government has pulled $7 million. Yes, $7 million from the Royal Commission into Child Sex Abuse, particularly in institutions, not necessarily the Catholic Church, after a string of priests and whatnot were accused, and actually I think one of them was convicted of child sex abuse. He's taken $7 million out of the Royal Commission into Child Sex Abuse in institutions, and he's put $20 million. So that's the $17 million, and a further $13 million into a Royal Commission into what is known as the Pink Bats program, which is basically a Labour initiative to build halls in schools that apparently didn't work. And supposedly the building of them caused a few deaths in the builders, but that's actually more because of the people who were supervising. They weren't paying attention, and they're greedy bastards anyway. Ultimately, it's taking money away from a child sex abuse commission, putting it into a commission into something that their political opponents did that sort of didn't pan out right. I don't even know why they call it Pink Bats. Who came up with that name? I don't know. It just happened, and I was like, at first I thought it was a flying fox epidemic. Like at Hyde Park, there were just a bunch of bats that somehow turned pink, and the government had something to do with it. Maybe they were testing chemicals. At that point, I thought, yes, we should have a Royal Commission into the Pink Bats program, whatever the bloody hell that is. But it's about insulation that apparently caught fire. Yeah, we should have a commission into that, but we should put $20 million into that and take $7 million out of something about child sex abuse. What the hell is our government doing? That's basically all I can think of at the moment. It's like, what the hell is Tony Abbott doing? This is a guy who says shit happens, and every time shit happens, it just so happens to be him causing it. So we are screwed. If we don't get a double dissolution by Christmas, we are going to look really stupid on the world stage. I always think once Tony Abbott was elected last year, I thought, yeah, if he's like sort of standing at the G20, the first words he says will probably piss off someone, and then we'll probably have another war. For glory's sake, for vengeance sake. War. My eyes hurt. So until next time, if you're thanks for watching, I guess. If you're subscribe, if you're into whatever the bloody hell this was, follow me on Twitter at Magician88. You can also follow me on twitch.tv/Magician88, but I won't be streaming because XSplit is playing up and it won't connect to my stream, so I don't know what the hell's going on. There's nothing else I want to talk about, so until next time, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Arrivederci, amici. And I'll see you guys later. Wrong one. That's the one.